Okay, good morning, students. Okay, am I audible to you people? Mr. Ranjit, am I audible? Okay. Okay, once again, good morning to all. I will be, starting your module 2 today of retail management part 1. Okay. Um, fine. So in the last class, we have left. Okay, in the last class, we have left with some case study, and you people promised today that we have to discuss on the same. Okay, there is some problem with joining to the classes. Okay, anyway, everyone is joining, but few students have some problem. Please check your internet connectivity at your area. Okay, or find somewhere the internet connectivity is very high. Okay, and fast. That will be helping you people. Okay, am I audible to you people?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. How about the case study? How about the case study? I request anyone please read the case. Anyway, it has been sent to you people in advance only. I will be requesting one or the other person to just go through it, read it, okay, and let's all discuss on the same. Okay, once we finish it, we'll go to the module 2. Fine. Okay, who is going to initiate? Who is going to initiate? Who is going to initiate? Should I call the name randomly? Anybody here from your group? Okay, here it is. Fine. So who wants to read the case? Anybody here who has an interest? Amin, Ashmita, Ayushi, Balabai, right? Dharmendra Pal, Kavita, Kumar, anybody? Ranjit, Sabia, Samed, anybody wants to read the case? I cannot repeat you again and again. That's very disgusting. Okay. If you want to discuss the case, I'm happy that we are going to discuss it. Or else I will be starting your module 2, and I think we have to drop the case study discussion in the group. Anybody wants to discuss? Want to initiate at least? See, I can wait for another maybe few seconds. Okay, after that I will be continuing with my module 2. Henceforth, probably no cases will be discussed. If you have any queries, no, probably it may not be so helping me to solve. If you don't, react to the or if you don't indulge into, such activities, if this is the case, then I will be going through your module 2. Hmm? Fine. Okay, dear students, welcome to Retail Management uh, class, module 2. Maybe a very smallest module, which will be talking on, we people will be discussing on the theories, which are going to be, very important in understanding, retail sector, and how the, researchers have brought some theories with their experience and a lot of, depth research, that how industry or a retailer will be, coming into the market and how they are going to exit into the market. Okay, why any retailer will be deciding upon which location they have to, select for to start their, retail store, and how or what type of merchandise or group of merchandise has to be kept into the store will be decided upon certain theories. Okay, so we go one by one. We have first theory in module 2, which is called as wheel of retailing. Here this wheel of retailing was proposed or found by Malcolm Nair in 1931, and also it has been redefined with certain minute changes in 1958. This is something, wheel of retailing, in, which will be including major three phases. Okay, the phase starts with entry, then trading up, and also vulnerability. Here in entry phase, okay, in an entry phase, what happens is that any retailer who wish to enter into retailing sector, okay, he will be having very less amount with him, okay, and investment will be not much more. But the attractiveness of the retail market, or an industry, it will be forcing them to utilize it. Okay, the opportunity what is being given by the industry, the new retailer want to use it. So what he does is he enters the market with a lower margin. Okay, where it will be helping him to sell for a lesser price, because when the margin comes down, okay, it will be giving a boost for any retailer to sell a product for a very competitive price, and that competitive price may be very lower compared to the competitors. So he will be having an expectation of very less profit due to the lower margin. So profit is less, but what to do? At the entry stage, he requires some amount of market share. Okay, he want to enter, or target certain segments where there will be more profitability in the coming days. So that's why what he does is he starts with the very lowest margin and the lowest price. Okay, next we have, like limited or no services, because that due to less capital at the initial stage, where he will be investing in land and building, and certain amount of merchandise has to be kept. There is no surety for any retailer that what can be pushed properly in that particular location where his store is located or situated. So that doubt of any retailer, that which sort of the type of merchandise, the type of category products which will be pushed in that particular market, and wish of the customers to buy them. So what happens here is that he will be looking for limited and as well as no service people can expect from such type of retailer who has just entered the market. Along with that, he has very low and facilities with him, low end facilities, where giving service to the customers, apart from just retailing process. At the time of billing, it may be at the time of helping them to pack. Okay, then at the time of storing it. So searching for even products also at the beginning becomes very difficult for any retailer or any person who is working into that retail store. So this is a stage where there's more uncertainty, okay, where there will not be fixed amount of profit those people are going to gain. There will be not a fixed amount of a margin to set for his own retailers, fine, sorry, for his own customers. Fine. Sorry. Okay. And also the facilities what has been expected by the customer may not be rendered properly. Depends on his own capability of handling them at the initial stage of entering interface. So once he enters into that into interface, he finishes it. So next goes with trading up a phase. Here what happens is in trading up a phase where some amount has been already came on the on the basis of return on investment, where some amount he is going to get accumulated, like capital is going to get accumulated at this stage, where he can increase the price to the moderate level, okay, where he will be having an ability of improvising his facility to the customers, okay, on the basis of services. Some service extra can be given to them, okay, and also there will be increase in the quality of merchandise, because there was a doubt in the entry phase what has to be kept into the retail store, okay, and what level of quality that the customers or segment into which he is operating they're expecting. So maybe that doubtful nature of the retailer was not so easy to decide upon what type of merchandise has to be kept in a entry phase, and what level of quality has to be maintained. But in trade up phases, what happens? Some clarity that person finds, a retailer finds into his a segment, and as well as the customers who are situated in that segment. On that basis, he is going to increase certain merchandise with certain level of quality. Okay. So next we have vulnerability, where this is a type of a phase, vulnerability where the problem comes here, it is a type of a situation where any retailer is going to be exposed to one or the other, harmful, which is going to, a harmful situation, which is going to affect him. So why it happens? Because, this is something like a cycle. Somebody starts with the entry phase, okay, he reaches the trader, he reaches the trading phase, and once from the trading he goes to vulnerability, because there are certain entrants who will be entering the market once again. Any retailer one who has completed the phases and is at the vulnerability phase, there is a retailer two who will be waiting. Fine, sorry, retailer two will be waiting to give some sort of threat to the retailer one. So what happens here is, where at the vulnerability phase the prices will be high because of the maturity those people have into the retail business, what he has gained from the past experience, okay, and he will be having a facility which are very luxurious to the customers, fine, and the overhead cost also increases at this moment. So service and any amenities which has to be given to the customers, okay, for the use, it will be excellent at this moment, because of almost maximum amount that he has already gained from this phase, okay, trader phase. Okay, we go one by one here, fine, one by one. Now that was just a a small introduction, precise introduction to the wheel of retailing. What happens in the entry stage? At this stage, the retailer will be entering any market with the lowest price, what we say, like a penetrating the market, because already there are certain retailers who are existing in the industry or a market, who are at somebody may be at this the trading up phase, or somebody may be at vulnerability phase. Okay, he will be entering with a a new concept, with a new innovation, like having the low price for their customers, and competing for the same type of customers what others also competing. So usually it with a very low status competitors, not much known by the people in the market, as well as sometimes the people who are very matured in that, but the customer, sorry, the retailers who are matured in that industry, probably they look these type of retailers who are new entrants as very low status type of competitors for them. And also what happens is, like the operating expenses goes high at this moment, but still they try to reduce it. The due to this operating expense reduction, giving the service to the customers will be very restricted one, and also they find a location of their store in such a places where the rent is very low, which will be helping them to run the business. Okay, and very modest shopping atmosphere will be given, not much amenities or maybe physical evidence, what we say, no, the physical evidence around any store. Okay, what also we say it as service scape. Okay, that will not be so high enough in this stage. And also the product mix which he is going to adopt in selling process of his own retail store, a retailer will find it very limited at this moment because of something not clarity that retailer will be having towards the segment and the requirement of the customers. So little, I'm not saying that no knowledge, little knowledge will be there, but clarity requires lot of research and experience in that particular segment and with the customers. So this is something like in this stage you people can find like the bold new concept. Okay, the innovations are very high at that moment. Entry phase, very innovatively those people are going to reach the customers to give them more satisfaction and attracting them towards their stores. Okay, because inflow of money is required at this moment, and they take very bold steps also with the innovative service. So because of that, customers are going to attract. And we have like the low price are usually the result of the innovation, that how best you people are going to cut your cost of operations, and how best you people are going to attract the customers along with the competitors. What happens is like any new entrant who is entering with a an, a nice innovation, and that innovation attracts even new entrants also. Even this stage also can give some problem to them for a new entrance. The more what we say, these people will be like benchmark to the others who are very new entrants. So we have next stage, like the trading up stage. The retailer slowly enters to the trading up stage. The characteristics of this stage is that the retailer will be very successful at this stage and accepted by the customers. And what happens is some amount of the knowledge he is going to gain. That knowledge will be helping him to become very original business one. And also the retailer at this stage will be having very improvised facilities to his customers. Okay, and the offerings what he has, no, the amount of or maybe a quality of a merchandise what he keeps will be little better than the entry stage. Okay, so this type of attitude of a retailer at this stage, like trading up phase, where the offers will be enhanced to the services, a new services will be added, or maybe improvement in the services will be brought here. Also, he's going to add new product lines, because at this stage, some amount of experience, what I said, he is going to gain, the retailer is going to gain from the market and from the segment as well as the customers. That will be helping him to decide upon, what new product lines can be added according to the requirements and needs of the customers in that particular area, which he is going to cover. And also what happens is that, the retailers develop their own type of experience, okay, compared to the competitors. He will be gaining certain capital, where some amount of capital is going to accumulate, okay, with him. And there will be increase in the level of service given to the customers, as well as I told you, the improvement in selecting the merchandise, okay, on the basis of the quality will be also increased. Okay, and hence the facility increases, okay, service increases, maybe quality of the product or merchandise selected in that retail store, if it increases, obviously along with that even price also increases. Okay, okay, there is something like at the entry stage. At this entry stage, the segment which those people are operating, maybe with a attitude of finding some low price shops. No way those people are much concentrated or connected with bargaining power towards the extra services, etc. may happen. But what happens, in the trading phase, where it's something like moderate type of business happen, both the side, where the retailers also will be taking lot of pain in making themselves suitable to a type of segment they are wishing to cater upon, and also even customers also looking for a type of a retailer which those people want to shop with. So here, when it comes to vulnerability phase, this is a phase where ultimately a maturity of a retailer will be very high at this moment. Okay, where it is very difficult for any retailer at this phase, to cope up with any problems those people are going to face due to the new entrants. Because any retailer you take at this phase of vulnerability, those people have passed through the entry as well as trade up phase. Here, this may be due to inability of adopting what new innovation that a new retailers brings into the industry. Probably the mature retailer may not adopt sometimes, and due to that new innovation, or maybe where it cannot be imitated so easily. If these people are going to imitate the newer retailers, probably they are going to lose the market, where the comparison happens between both of them, the mature retailer as well as the new entrant by the customers, and people find that new entrant very attractive one. So because of that, it becomes very difficult for them to adopt the new innovations brought by any retailer, new retailer in the industry by these mature retailers. And also where the returns will be slowly coming down, because anyway that new way of innovation and new way of strategy of attracting customers by the new entrants will be very high. And even customers also want to have some change, to find some change in retail process. Those people go to a new retailers. So switching is very high at this phase, from the mature retailers to new retailers by the customers. Here, the entry of any new retailers with a low price and the innovators will be giving a sign that there will be a decline in the business of the matured retailers. Sometimes what happens is where the retailers and the matured retailers, the profitability comes down, the income will be coming down, or sometimes what happens is that instead of just going into decline, they will be forced to withdraw from the market. They just go out of the market. So there is an important note here has to be kept while we people are understanding these three phases. Okay, remember at this time, especially by this time of being a vulnerable phase of any retailer, the newer competitors who are with the very lowest price and with the lowest pricing and also with the lowest status will be emerging, and also these competitors too follow the same evolutionary process. Remember, any new retailer who is entering at this stage, okay, giving competition to the mature retailers, one day he is going to be at this stage. So this is a cycle that any retailer who will be entering with the entry phase, he will come to this vulnerability phase one. Fine. At the same time, how he was a new entrant before, somebody else will be a new entrant for him. Fine. Okay. Any doubts still here? Any doubts? Any doubts? Can somebody respond? Okay, can somebody respond that any doubts you people have? Okay. See, please don't text the message. Okay, don't chat. I request that somebody has to just unlock your. I'm sorry. Okay, just you unlock your unmute your audio and just give me a sign that you people have understood by saying yes. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Fine. We have next theory, the retail, accommodation theory, where this theory is slightly different from this, wheel of retailing here. And this was, developed by, Holland in 1966. In the 1960s, it was, found and it was developed. Here, what he's going to suggest is that, okay, any retailer will be attracting their any product offering. He will be starting with a very narrow or broad range of products, and at the end he will come to a specialization. This says that at the beginning stage of any business who want to enter into a retailing, for any retailer it will be a confusing state. He will be starting his business with a general merchandise, and at the end he is going to be very much specialized in certain product categories. Okay, so this requires certain time, because initially maybe due to insufficient knowledge about uh, a market and the customers, probably he has to keep everything. At the end, after certain years of experience, that amount of experience will be giving a decision that what has to be kept in the store. Fine, this is something like a cyclic one also, but still it will be a phase which starts from general merchandise, and it will come to a category killers, or what we can say it is specialized category of products which he is going to keep in the shop. And this is also completely depends on one, the location of the shop, and the surrounding location, what type of segment that person is catering. Fine. Okay. So there's no hard and fast rule that we people cannot decide upon a type of a retailer who has a retail chain of his own, and each retail store has a different product categories because of this. That what segment that he is operating in that particular location. On that basis, he is going to decide upon which type of merchandise has to be kept, okay, in a very specialized way. Okay, or we have, and okay, in the early stage, that any retail institution will be in the form of general store only. Availability of maximum number of different number of products required will be kept and showcased. Fine. However, the time is going to pass now. Any retail institution will be becoming more specialized by having its own limited lines of merchandise with a very deeper assortments. So especially like you see any a woodline where they are majorly works on what, having a business for footwear, but also including with that very sportive type of other merchandise like jackets, maybe wallets, like any accessories for the fashion those people have in their stores, but they are majorly specialized on what, having footwear business. Okay, so they are going to carry very limited amount of merchandise with a very deeper assortment. If you go to such woodland showrooms, you find very deeper assortment. Any type of woodland shoes or footwears for any type of professions, it is available at there. Okay, so at this point, any retail institution will be like very specialized store. Fine, this is how it is. It's something starts with your sorry. It is something it starts with your general stores. Fine. Then once he will find that after general stores, all the general items will not be sold, and he finds that some a segment which will be asking to have some specific type of products. Fine. Like example, like you have like Amazon, which Amazon started like bookseller, okay, and now they're into general categories. Fine, we have something like they become like a category killers. Slowly it will be coming to a category killers, where like Walmart's very much specialized with the deeper assortments for any category it is available there. Fine. So we go with certain explanation. Fine. Okay. Now you take in this retail retail accommodation theory, which will be mainly suggesting on any retailer who will be entering into a newer phase, or entering a market with a newer phase. He will be like a general merchandise only, where he will be having all the items which is required. So as I told with an experience with certain years in that particular area, okay, or maybe a location or segment, he will be deciding upon which type of group of customers that he has to serve. Okay, which are those segments which are very profitable for him on the basis of his own motto, for what purpose he has started his retail shop. Fine. Okay, how the time is going to run, no? On that basis, he will be having some diversified offerings. He will be testing in that particular segment that which has to be kept and which has not to be, kept into the store. So anyway, to know it, he has to bring into the store certain merchandise, okay, which are product or services, okay, group of product or services. On that basis, he will be having some adding and subtracting nature, what has to be added and what has to be you are going to remove it from the market. Say that remove it from the particular retail store, okay, in that particular location or segment. Okay, so how he is going to subtract and adding the product or services in his own retail store. Fine. Okay, once the time begins, how he's going to diversify is often. Okay, but remember that again he is going to come to a specialization because he will come to know at the end. Okay, he is going to decide upon what is the specialized product or a category which has to be kept in this area. Only those customers are going to be. So only those customers are going to be served by the person on the basis of the profitability. So we can see that this specialization occurs due to one, the store size in any location, some location will be able to accommodate very greater variety, okay, which will be competing, and therefore they are going to have some specialization or specialized type of products in their stores. One, and second, maybe the income level in that particular area, what we said, the disposable income after saving, what those people keep the amount, that amount how those people are going to spend, in which those people are going to spend, especially in the larger urban populations, will be making them to be very profitable segments for them. Especially this disposable income will be something, an income which those people are going to save it after their expenses. Okay, where those people are going to invest such amount, has to be taken care. Then next we have the importance of the specialist shopping experience and also convenience stores, where you want to give some the best experience to the customers, being very specialized person in certain product categories, and how you make it more convenient for the customers, okay, in the form of convenience stores. Then we have something like where the retailers will be having the brands which has been already established, and it is something more bargaining happens from the side of the customers. Okay, and that segment is asking for such type of products, specialist products, right? Or maybe at the market. Okay, and also there are certain changes that happens in the operations of the retail, and also which is maybe related to certain strategies which will be helping any retailers to find what should be the width of the merchandise mix. Okay, and now this width talks about the different number of product lines which any uh, retail store is holding. Fine. So we are not talking about the depth. We are talking about the width of the product, because depth, when we say, it is something a general merchandise that everything is going to keep. Okay, but the strategy of holding what type of product lines that he has to hold in that retail store to cater to the requirement of the segmented customers, fine, or targeted customers, sorry. Okay, now what happens here is this is going to tend to become more general, is because the expansion of complementary lines as a part of the retail offer. Sometimes what happens is that with a limited amount of product lines, maybe sometimes when somebody comes for a shopping there, any customer, he looks for some alternative products also. Okay, so having that complementary lines is also helping them sometimes. Okay, fine. Where especially example, like if you go to Big Bazaar or a Reliance Mart, okay, you find a bakery section inside, where somebody who are very tired want to have something, okay, want to purchase even a bakery items also, it is also available there. But that's something, a very complimentary lines those people are going to keep for the customers. Maybe a skimming policy, because you find any retailer will be finding that in this particular segment with certain sort of product lines will be giving them much more profitability than compared to any others. So because of that, they want to cream it off. What we say, before the competition raises in that particular area for such product lines, this person is going to bring those product lines in a very specialized way, and that, because of that specialized or uniqueness of the retailer, he is going to skim the market. So getting charging very higher price, okay, before somebody copies the same and keeps the same type of product lines, special product lines into their stores. Before somebody does it, he will be gaining maximum profit, or taking the cream of out of the market. So we have next, like where a move to increase the density of the shoppers in the store. Maybe you want to attract more number of customers in the market, sorry, in the store, where the high footfall will be there in the store, which will be giving them maximum profitability by holding into highest product lines. Fine. Also, there may be something like a very want to grow into a very larger shopping center, and then also you should have different departments with a very high, merchandise with them with the different product and services which the customers are going to looking for, as well as want to increase the outlets. Remember, as I told you, people, if you want to, allow more expansion in the form of outlets also, decide the product lines which you want to have into that product, into that stores in that particular area depends on the segment's requirement. Okay. So we have an example like, this is a type of pattern in the establishment of very small scale specialist food retailers such as, grocery or baker's floor. Okay. But over time, what happens is, any food retailers will be having an idea of growing in a very larger scale into the supermarket, maybe a superstore or like a big, hypermarket where they're going to diversify their product range. For example, like, the Amazon, as I told you, Amazon started into 1995 with a very narrow product range. Especially they were high into online book sales. Okay, a retailer. But since now those people have moved till the electronics and toiletries, and now they're into grocery store. Okay, fine. So what we do, fine. Anyway, we'll complete this model. We have next, like, any doubts you people have in the past? Kerry, any doubts you people have? Can anybody respond?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now we have something called, like, your third theory, which we say it as, melting point theory, or we also say it as, dialectic theory. Now this theory was proposed by Thomson and, Bruce. Okay, and this is something very different from the other two theories, where it nicely says that, a new value proportion by one retailer will be giving rise to two new retailers with the same proportion. Here something, it's a competition, or sometimes it is the understanding of two retailers, okay, of each other, how best those people are going to compete. Okay, any new value proportion with the, the best service, also with the best, merchandise in one retailer shop can be leading to be copied by the retailer two in some other retail stores. Fine. So at one particular stage, both of them will be having, shared advantage and the shared disadvantage advantages also. Okay. So anybody who comes with a very innovative retailer one, if in example retailer one will come with some new service and new merchandise, probably that will be advantages for the new retailer. Okay, retailer one. But what happens is retailer two will be copying the same, because that will be, absent into his retail store. Okay, retailer two will start going, copying the same, and he will be bring the same concept into his store. In case what happens is that, retailer two will come with a further, improvement into his services and the merchandise. If that is fine, very advantageous one, the retailer one will be copying instead. Fine. So this is something ongoing process that, retailer one will be copying the retailer two will be copying the retailer one on the basis of the advantages both of them have, and both of them want to include into their stores. So this is what it says. A new, any value proportion that one retailer will be giving rise to the two new retailers with the same proportion. So that's why we say that at a particular moment or at that particular time, both the retailers will be having shared advantages. So this theory tells about something like, also we say it as, this theory we say it as, dialectic process, where it will be suggesting that, any retailer will be adapting mutually to the emerging competition, as I told you, and will be tending to adopt the plans or strategies of the opposition. What opposition means? The competitors. Fine. Any new plans or, any strategies which has been followed by retailer one, the other retailers will be also copying the same and want to adopt the same into their retail store. Okay. And now also this theory is going to explain, okay, or it has been taken place, some changes have been taken place in the retail institution because of the process which those people are going to follow, what we say it as, dialectic. According to this theory, what it says that two retail institutions, okay, will be forming with a different advantage Okay, also they are going to modify their formats till they develop a format that combines the advantage of both the formats. So how those people do is because both will be something like both will be having their own ladders. Okay, and both will be climbing. One climbs maybe a 2 3 steps, and the second one will be also climbing the same. Ultimately, at the end, both will be having same type of format. Fine, due to the competition and maybe due to the competition which those people have for the same type of segment and the customers. Okay, so what the result we people can find after having the same format between both the retailers is that where mutual adoption of those two retailers will be gradually moving towards the same type of offerings. Okay, the same type of facilities will be there, and any supplementary devices or prices which you people find in both the retailers, it will be alike. Both of them look same. Due to this, what happens is that there will be a fight to have the same type of customers in the stores, because the customers will find that both the stores are similar one. But still, what happens is the fight what happens between both of them to have some new strategies. Okay, that as in time changes, the strategies will also change, and the same strategy will be adopted by both of them. Okay, thus they are going to become very there will be no difference between both of them, or at least there will be little similarity and little difference. That difference happens on the basis of one person takes a further step in finding a new strategy. Anyway, he finds a difference. The same difference will be copied by once again with the other retailer. Fine. And this polarization theory, we have the fourth one, the polarization theory. Now, this will be suggesting that, for a long term, it says that, at the end, after long term in the industry, retail industry, there will be only two type of retailers who will be at the end remains into the industry. One is the retailer with a very large, services, and the retailer with the very smaller services. But when we are talking about this mid-sized, services, they are going to vanish from the market. Okay, as I told you now, see here, the three people who are very much, okay, fine. Yes, okay. Now see here, this is very important. One is that on the basis of time, okay, and on the basis of the size. Okay, if you see large and a small and the medium, these three type of retailers we people find in the industry. Okay, but theory says that when we are talking about the long term perspective, only these two are going to survive. One, the larger one, and the second is the smaller one. Because of these two survival, for medium size, it becomes very difficult to be into the market. The reason is that you take any large stores. These large stores will be offering one-stop shopping. Means almost all type of merchandise which is required by required by the retailer to keep in the store to serve their own segments. Okay, to serve their segments and reach their target customers. He will be having it because of his service. Okay, he will be surviving. But what happens when it comes to smaller sized retailers? They will be having very limited range of product because of the offer which those people are going to give on the basis of value. Maybe like convenience. Okay, on the basis of convenience, maybe the added value it is for the shoppers to cater to their customers. So these two do. But what happens is very medium-sized customers, neither they are going to have their high range of offering of merchandise, or maybe they will not be more profitable when they are offering a limited amount of a limited product of a limited range of products in their stores. So because of that, the operating cost gains very high, okay, increases, and they will not meet their expenses. So because of that, they are going to be thrown out of the market, or maybe they are forced to move out of the market. So this is what the concept of this polarization theory is. Okay. Now it is found that that more profitability will be there for small and a large size or big size retailers, but medium size one will be falling into a Bermuda Triangle. This is very important here to understand. that they become almost invisible, and there is no tracing that why this medium size, like like the example, maybe your supermarkets around you, the small pop and stun stores, or maybe a kirana stores are running good now, even in the situation of COVID also. Okay, and the larger one is also big supermarkets or hypermarkets are also leading, into the market. But still, when you see the retail industry, the medium size, like supermarkets around your locality, they are not doing well because their operating cost is very high, and the value what those people are gaining out of serving certain type of customers, maybe they are not so much profitable for them. So because of that, they vanish from the market. What we say it as Bermuda Triangle concept. Okay, here it is. Like Bermuda Triangle, for your knowledge, is an area, okay, near Bermuda, where you take any ships or planes or people whosoever passes through passes through this triangle. Okay, anybody who passes through this triangle, no, they become invisible. Maybe it is a mythology that people have built around this type of area, or maybe it may be like pseudoscientist phenomena which is very unimaginable to identify. Still today, nobody has found whosoever has gone to this particular area in time. So also we say it as devil triangle. If you go through some Nat Geo or Discovery channels, one other program you people can find. Also, you can search in the internet where this concept is this area has been matched to the concept of polarization theory. In that particular situation, where only the survival can happen with a larger store concept. Okay, the larger store concept, and then it can happen with very smaller store concept. But when it comes to mid-sized or medium sized store concept, it is almost very difficult for them to survive in between these two, okay, due to their operating cost and less sales. Fine. Okay, this completes your module 2. Fine. These are very basic theoretical concepts, theories which people have to understand. Fine. Okay. Fine. Any of them, if people have any doubts on these theories? And remember, all the 4 theories are not theories which people can compare. All the theories are totally different with the different ideas they give. Wheel of retailing talks about phases what any retailer is going to go. At the end, when we are talking about this polarization theory, they are totally different. This talks about the size of the retailer and the survival. Fine. When we're talking about this melting theory, it is something completely a copying of strategies or a plan or maybe a type of merchandise or a concept of retailing from one retailer to the another retailer. Fine. So there are no much comparison between the theories, but still all they stand different only. Fine. So now I request anybody who has any doubts. Anybody who has a doubts? Anybody who has a doubts? If you don't have a doubts, please respond. I just
No, sir.
okay. Shall I close the meeting?
Sir, hello, sir. Sir, can you send this PPT in the group for preparation, sir?
That I do it. No need to worry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Before your internals, you will get. Fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Fine. Okay. Anyway, today I thought of discussing upon. I thought of discussing on your case study. Okay. But what to do? Nobody was having interest, and because of this attitude, I believe that from coming classes, I think no cases are required. Anyway, the theoretical part which has to be completed from my side, I will be completing, no doubt, with complete. I will be covering all the concepts of your syllabus. Fine. But regarding the cases and any workshop or any what do you people ask now regarding certain, because examples comes by, case studies only. So one by one, we people go on discussing. They emerge, new examples. But I think depends on your interest. Fine. So anyway, I will be recording your attendance. That attendance will be submitted to the department, and that department may submit to somewhere else, the concerned person. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.